So Doom and Doom 2 the way it did. Doom the way it did was a very popular release in 2011, and having played through it, it really is good. It's a very solid, put-together WAD that, you know, resembles the style of the mappers at id. And the following year, you know, after they had completed Doom the way it did, they started working on Doom 2 the way it did, and I played through that in May of 2013, and one thing that I'm always going to associate it with now is regular show, if you can believe it. Now, I don't really like this room right here. I always get kind of fucked up because it just, all the shit comes down, and yeah, like right there, that's fucking... But, whatever. Anyway, getting back to what I was talking about. Regular show was, you know, that's that show on Cartoon Network with the Blue Jay and the raccoon, and I had been talking about it a lot with like Sparks and shit, you know, up to like 6 months before that point, but I had never actually seen the show. So like when I started playing through an earlier version of Doom 2 the way it did, not the final version, but like a later beta, I ended up watching regular show the next day, and then I started playing, you know, more Doom 2 the way it did throughout that day. So now I always think of regular show when I play Doom 2 the way it did, and it's kind of funny how that is, but, you know, it's just like how I associate SpongeBob with Doom 2, at least when I was a kid. It's just like, I don't know, weirder things have happened, you know? But Doom 2 the way it did was really nice. It does have some WAP moments, just like Doom 2 does, but again, it was really nostalgic to play through because it really reminded me of like playing through Doom 2 again in those early experiences, and you know, when everything was fresh and new to me. It was cool. And you know, Doom the way it did is really nice. I mean, I won't lie at all, but Doom 2 the way it did just struck a different chord with me, that it resonated a little better. And again, it's probably just because it was that time, you know, playing through Doom 2. I have stronger nostalgia for Doom 2 than I do with Ultimate Doom, and I mentioned that in a earlier video. I believe it was that one I did with Heretic. Doom, I think Doom is the superior game, but Doom 2 has a stronger nostalgic feel to me, and I believe it's because I played Doom 2 at a later point in time. The first time I played it was 97, but I really got into it in 99 and 2000, whereas all my experience with watching the original Doom being played was in 94 and like 95. And that's just longer ago, so it starts to go out of the bounds of my conscious memory. So while I do have some fond experiences of watching my dad and my brother play Doom 2 is stronger for me because that's when I got to play it for myself more, and it was just more recent, so I remember it better. It's just one of those things. And, you know, Doom 2 is not a bad game, but I do like the original Doom better. I just think it's more of a cohesive experience and more well put together. You know, you had John Romero doing episode 1, and he was, you know, a phenomenal mapper for that. And, you know, Sandy Peterson's maps can be pretty damn ugly, but they can be fun to play too, but some of them are kind of, like in some of the third episode. I don't know why this guy didn't die. I hit him with 2 BFG shots. He's still kicking. You can kill him in as little as 1, but it's extremely difficult to do in Vanilla Doom. A lot of people will be like, no, I do it all the time. They're probably playing Z-Doom, where Z-Doom doesn't suffer from the block map bug, which is what prevents that from working properly. But, anyway, enough about that. So Doom 2 the way it did was a very fun experience. I just really liked to play it, and I played through it a couple of times, actually. I played it once in... I played through a beta in May of 2013, and then I played through it again in November of 2013 during that kind of rough period with Daisy and everything. And I played through it with Shooting Monsters with Guns, which was that mod I showcased, wow, 5 years ago now, where you can like dual wield and shit. I really like that mod. It's really fucking cool. But anyway, yeah, I played through it a couple times, and you know, Doom the way it did is great. I played through it a couple times as well, but again, it just didn't strike the same nostalgia chord as Doom 2 the way it did. And they are working on a final Doom the way it did now, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because most Doom fans will know that Final Doom wasn't made by id. But I think it's just kind of a a consistency type thing. They're not trying to say, like, they wouldn't want to say Final Doom the way Dario and Milo Casali did and Team TNT did. You know, it's easier just to say id because they published it at the end of the day, and you know I'm sure they had to oversee the making of the maps by. Well, actually, no. I don't think they had to oversee the making of the maps because the maps were already made by the time the game was getting ready to come out. I think John Romero or whoever it was that did just contacted them and say, hey, let's use this for Final Doom. But anyway, when it comes to Final Doom, I'm just not very fond of Final Doom. It suffers from being, in TNT Evolution's case, it suffers from being really ugly and downright just gameplay-wise. And Plutonia suffers from being too hard. And I know it's the whole point for it to be hard, but there are times where it's just downright fucking unfair. In the bad way, in the worst way possible. And if you play on an easier difficulty, I suppose it's not too bad. Now that other room that I just walked past, that room right there, I usually don't go in there. It's just kind of a blah room. I suppose I should show it off for the purpose of this LP. I've been showing off things I usually don't, but whatever. But yeah, the nostalgia for Doom 2 the way it did was stronger than Doom, and then Final Doom is just kind of there for me. I might try Final Doom the way it did when it comes out. I don't know how they're gonna pull it off with like the Plutonia part, because the Plutonia part, I mean, Plutonia is just freaking bludgeoning. I'd probably have to play it on Hey Not Too Rough or something, or at least Hurt Me Plenty. Probably Hey Not Too Rough though, because Hurt Me Plenty can still lend itself to being pretty difficult at times. Well, we're finally getting to the final stretch here, so we'll go ahead and wrap up this nostalgia train and see what happens.